I would do an update for everybody, considering I haven't been on for a while. So I am going to, while I'm straightening my hair, I am going to update everybody on everything. I say everything, but there's not really much to update on. The kids are sleeping right now, trying to do this while they're quite quiet. And then hopefully be able to get my hair done at the same time. Anyway, so being a part-time mom has kind of, I've gotten into a routine of that now, so that's not as bad as it used to be. And then I can't find them. Nope. We have a new member of our family. This is Rainbow. He's 10 weeks old, and it's been 2 weeks today that we got him and that he joined our family. And if you hear anything in the background, it's probably his water dish. So that is possibly what that noise is. If you hear anything, that's kind of going like a hum. Work's been fine, been busy, very, very busy, very, very busy. The main thing to kind of, I guess, update on is I was diagnosed with celiac disease about 3 months ago, and I'm still struggling to get on board with it. I went from being able to eat gluten, anything with gluten in it, to it not being allowed in my diet, which makes it increasingly difficult because I've loved pasta and pizza and bread and ramen and all the random things that you wouldn't even think about. And it's been really tricky, truthfully, trying to get back on board with it. So that way, or not get back on board, but to get on board with it, because you go your whole life doing one way to 30 plus years having to change completely to a new diet, and it's not easy. It's not easy. It would be the same if someone was getting diagnosed with, like, if they were diabetic, or, you know, they have Crohn's disease or something like that, because that's the same, or it's not same, but similar symptoms that you would get. Right? And then the main points that I've kind of been able to keep an eye out for is I'm not allowed to have, so there was an acronym when I got all of my paperwork from the NHS that says brow, like an eyebrow, and it said barley, rye, oats, and wheat. So those are the 4 things that I really need to keep an eye out for. So every label I've been trying to keep an eye on, but it's not exactly easy. Trying to make sure that I don't eat gluten hasn't been very easy. there's been some things in particular that I was kind of not expecting to have to omit from my diet. And one of them is so like Pringles. You wouldn't think Pringles would have any wheat in them, but there's wheat in them. It's very strange. There's also like most breads, they do have like many options for breads now. They have many options for like cookies, biscuits, whatever country you want to be, whichever country it is that you want to decide. And you have that. And then fruits and vegetables are completely good to go. Like, I can eat those. It's mainly the pastas, cereals, like rice cakes. I can't have rice cakes. I'm trying to think what else. There's quite a few. Oh, sausage. Sausage was one I was really shocked by because it has not all sausage is off limits. However, you have to check all of the ingredients because if it has breadcrumbs in it, it's likely to have gluten because breadcrumbs are from bread, which has gluten. Now, if you have gluten-free bread crumbs, then you're fine. Another one that shocked me was baking powder. Baking powder, I was not expecting that to have gluten in it. Completely didn't even know that you had to have gluten-free baking powder. I knew about flour. I wasn't aware about the other ones. There's certain like coffee syrups, I think, that have barley in them as well. Or it's like I think it's barley malt extract, which it does say primarily it is gluten-free. However, it's not something that you can have, or that you should try and steer away from it, because barley is one of the 4 main things that it doesn't want you to have. The other thing is, like, my symptoms when I realized before I was confirmed was the fact that I was tired all the time. I just moved out from my ex, and was trying to get back into a routine with the kids for that, because it's not exactly easy trying to go from being a dual parent home to a single parent home, but then also part-time, I guess, being single mom, because they do go to their dads regularly. But yeah, like, it's trying to navigate all of this and all of the move and trying to get used to walking into work every day and all of that. And I knew at that time that my diet needed to change and that I needed to get back on a regular routine, which hasn't been easy. But the rest of my bloods had come back normal. It was just this one that came back, and I was pretty high on their scale they have. So your celiac levels, from what I was told by my doctor, is that they should be around about a 4. I was nearly at 100. So, yeah. It's no wonder I was tired all the time. The other reason I got my blood work done was because I've had issues with anemia in the past. and my iron's levels usually borderline anyway on a normal day. So I thought it could have been that, because that's another symptom for anemia is fatigue. So that was normal when it was checked. But yeah, I was sitting at work one day, about to head out, and I get a call from the doctors to say I tested positive for celiac disease, and I was like, okay. So it's been a long few months. Been a very trying few months as well, because like I said earlier, pasta was my thing, pizza is my thing. It's very difficult to try and navigate a new diet, and when it's extremely restricting to what you're used to, it's very hard. It's very difficult. And it's not exactly an easy one to kind of just swap to. So there's still been teething problems. There's still been days where I've essentially fallen off the wagon and had something with gluten in it, and I say pay the price, but I had the symptoms. I'm either tired or bloating, which is fully to be expected, because that was one of my other main symptoms, was the extreme bloat. But I know how to kind of alleviate it, and I know what I need to do. It's just trying to implement all the changes and trying to implement new diet requirements. And we're getting there. We are getting there. Like, the boys don't need to be gluten-free, which is a blessing. And then if I do have to have, if I do want to have pasta, I can have pasta. I just have to make sure that it's gluten-free. If I want to have some toast or bread, like a sandwich or something like that, again, I just have to make sure it's gluten-free bread. I've had some really blessed days where the kids and I have gone to their friends' houses, and I'm quite friendly with their parents as well, and they've been very supportive with this new dietary requirement that I have. So it's been very, very, very helpful. It's been very nice to know that I have the support that I need here. I do have the support of my family back home. I say back home, but back in the U.S. But as much as I would love to live there and all of that, my kids' lives are here, and it's okay. There'll be a time when I'm able to move back, and until then, this is my home. As much of my home as it can be. And I didn't make that choice lightly. I didn't just decide, I'm just gonna have to stay here, and there's always the possibility of being able to move back to the States. But for the time being, my kids are quite settled in their life, and with my upbringing, being from the military, being a child of the military, I know what it can do. I know what it can be like to have to move around all the time, and you not having any say, and you just get pulled here, there, and everywhere. And not that, I don't agree with military. My dad served his 20 years, and multiple other family members have served, and my mom even served briefly, and I'm very proud of them for that. I personally, and my parents know this, is I'm not suited for the lifestyle of the military. I'm just not. I'm tired of moving around all the time, and I mean, sometimes it would have been easy to just up and leave and just start anew somewhere else. But at the same time, it's not just about my needs and what I want and everything. It's about myself and my kids, and trying to make sure that they're happy and healthy and safe. But I'm also of the opinion that I won't take my kids from their dad as long as he and they both want each other in their lives. And again, my family knows that. And now you know that. But that is me finished with my hair. So I'm going to try and get some sleep because the kids have fallen asleep. And yeah, that's basically the update. I'm now celiac. I'm struggling to get on board with the celiac diet, but I'm getting there. And that's all I can ask. And, there's other channels that I watch, and there's one in particular that their phrase per se is 1 day at a time. And it is literally 1 day at a time. It could be 1 hour at a time. It could be 1 minute at a time. 1 meal at a time. Just 1 millisecond at a time. It doesn't matter. As long as if you get through the day, fantastic. If you get to the next week, amazing. Blessed. Very blessed. But for now, it's 1 day at a time, like they say on KNS Get Out. And then, yeah. I hope everybody's fine. Hope everybody's okay. I'm going to try and do more videos, or at least 1 video a week. Again. But we shall see. Just is going to take time. And patience. Lots and lots of patience. So I hope you enjoyed today's update. I will try and make another video for next week. I don't know what day yet. But I'll try and make another video once the kids have gone back to their dads. And I have more time on my own. Because I've got loads of cleaning and tidying and all sorts to do. So I'll try and do a cleaning video or something like that. So yeah, hope everybody has a good day or night. And I'll see you in the next video.